The Eastbourne Miniature Steam Railway series. Written by Christopher Audrey. Rachel and the Goose. "She's not very good looking," said Mr. Les, who had built her, "but she's got character." The new engine, smart in her black paintwork, stood outside the engine shed. Grunted General the big red engine. "Can she pull coaches?" General wanted to know. "Of course," said Mr. Mike. "She wouldn't be here otherwise. Behave yourself and show her round, please." General did, but made it quite clear that there were other things he could be doing instead. "I'm going to call you Rachel," Mr. Mike told her, "after my wife." "We can't have two Rachels," General objected. "People won't know which is which." "Don't be rude," warned Mr. Mike, "or I'll take your name away." General behaved better for several days. Rachel began to enjoy herself. She knew she couldn't pull heavy trains on busy days, but she could manage when there weren't so many visitors. She enjoyed the journey round the lake, but wished she could go slower and see more. "What's the use?" scoffed General. "She's gasping for breath with only half my load." Rachel was out of breath, but she was determined not to give in. General set off on his next journey. At the other end of the lake, he heard a loud hissing and squawking. A goose had caught its wing in a fence and was very frightened. General stopped. The goose stretched its neck and tried to peck him, but couldn't quite reach. Goose and General hissed together. As he reached the station, Mr. Luke was already uncoupling Rachel's coaches. Then, with two trucks and Mr. Luke and Mr. Les on board, she went to the rescue. The goose was still frightened, but was tired now. Rachel went as close as she dared, keeping as quiet as she could. Then, while Mr. Les very bravely held the bird, Mr. Luke untangled its wing from the fence. The goose was too tired to go back to the lake, so they all stayed there until a man came who had RSPB on his coat. He looked carefully at the goose. "He'll be all right," he said. "Will you give us all a ride back to my van, please, Rachel?" And so, goose and all, off they went. "I'm sorry I was rude," General told Rachel that night. "You were very brave." At last, Rachel began to feel really at home.